Carlin here. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today is I'm fixing to reveal our big family Christmas tree to you guys. And I'm going to tell you about our Thanksgiving, and I'm going to tell you about some plans that I have for some videos moving forward. I am again trying a microphone, so you guys let me know how I'm sounding. I'm moving it away from my mouth. I think I had it too close to my mouth the last time that I tried this, so I've actually moved it down my sweater a little bit. So we'll see if that doesn't help to clear up it sounded a little muffled the last time. So I'm going to try it in this video only, and we'll see. And if it works out on this one, then I'll continue on. But my dad and I were watching my sweet potato casserole recipe demo on the TV the other night. And he said, and I always notice this, but he actually verbalized it. And he said, "What's wrong with the volume?" And I said, "Well, that's how my iPhone videos, that's how it sounds when I use my iPhone." So that kind of made me start to think, well, maybe I should try to use the microphone again. It might come clearer to those of you who watch me on the TV. So do let me know how I sound to you guys. I would appreciate the feedback. So also, if you guys wouldn't mind taking a moment to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, and then click all so you never miss one of my uploads. And then share with your friends and families and coworkers, and please give me a thumbs up. The thumbs up really helps with my algorithms. And I don't know whether you guys have noticed or not, but I'm figuring out how to put short videos up. And it will be, if you want to take a look at what I've posted and haven't seen what I posted through the Thanksgiving holiday there, take a peek at a couple of those little shorts. Anyway, speaking of my family, we had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My dad arrived on Thanksgiving Day because we did not celebrate our Thanksgiving until Saturday because the kids had busyness going on, and oh my goodness, it has been a crazy time of it. So my dad came on Thursday, and we ended up having pizza on our Thanksgiving Day. As you can hear, I'm not feeling my best here this afternoon. My voice is kind of froggy, so please pardon that. But anyway, so we sat around that evening and just chatted, and he walked around and of course looked at all of my decor and absolutely loved everything that we've created here in the house. And he just said, not too many other people's houses look like this. He's my dad, you guys. He's so sweet, so it was good to see him. As I've mentioned, he's going to be 90 in February, and he is still playing golf every single day, drives himself, plays golf every single day, does all his own shopping, does everything himself. He's very independent, and I am very grateful for that, of course. So he and I sat up really late that night and just were chatting. So the next day, the kids arrived with little Gus and, of course, Pearl. And we just had a wonderful time that afternoon and evening. Sean had to work that afternoon, so they didn't get here until later on in the afternoon. We had to work just the morning hours. And they live a couple hours away. So they got here, and we just, had a great time with the boys and with this puppy, Gus, watching him eat out of this bowl. Check this bowl out. This is what did Candace call it, a smart bowl or something like that. It is a puzzle for him. He was scarfing down his food too fast, and so Candace got him this bowl, and he actually has to pat the top of it with his paw in order to release the food into all the little sections, and he lifts each section up with his nose and then eats the food out of it.
When they're all warm, will he He'll press
He'll
it
put his,
again.
he'll press. See?
When he gets bigger, he's going to be freaky after doing that.
I don't know, maybe they have a sturdier one. 'Cause he's pretty aggressive with that stomp.
Still more food there?
Mm-hmm.
Cleans up off the floor too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's every morning.
Very efficient. I said, my goodness, how long did it take him to learn how to do that? And Sean said, about 2 tries, and he knew exactly what he was doing. I said, that's amazing. I was teaching him how to touch, you know, how you teach. I'm pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm a dog trainer by any stretch of the imagination, but we have trained some dogs in our past. And I said, it's always nice to teach a dog how to touch, you know. So I taught him how to touch in about 3 times. I like touch, and he's touching. He's all the nose, you know, he's a hound. So he's all about the nose, and you know, and he's like, oh, she's got something in her hand, so I want to touch it. So, you know, he did really well with that. The boys, of course, did great. They're like stair steps, you know. Samson's 15, Odin is going to be 9, and Maverick is 5. And those who don't know, Sean and Candace are blending their 2 families. Maverick is our grandson by blood, if you will, is Candace's son, and Samson and Odin are Sean's sons, and they're blending their family beautifully, pulling it all together with you know, kids and dogs and a cat and a house, and you know, the whole thing. You know, their adulting is they're doing very well at it too. So but anyway, we didn't what did we have for dinner that night? We went and got Royal Farms chicken that night. I had also made meatballs, and I made some chili, and I ended up Dad and Sean had some of the chili for dinner, and then I packaged up the rest of the chili, which was my intention to send it home with Dad, along with all, of course, the, you know, Thanksgiving leftovers and everything. But I sent home the rest of the chili with him, except for a little bit. I had like 3 kind of containers, you know, 3 helpings, if you will, or maybe 2 helpings out of each container for him to take home. He loves my chili, you know, which is my grandmother's chili, which is something she made for us every time we went up to Western Maryland, up to Luke, you know, Luke, Maryland. My grandmothers, for those don't know, lived on the same street, right down the street from one another. But my grandmother on my mom's side always made us dinner for when we arrived, because we always arrived late in the evening. We were 2.5 hours away from where they lived, and Mom and Dad were both teachers, you know, so we didn't get up there till whatever time after dark. And Mooney always had chili waiting for us every time, you know. So that's the same chili, and Dad really likes it. So I sent that home with him. But so that we had, like, you know, kind of a smorgasbord that evening. The kids love Royal Farms chicken. If you've never tried it, if you have a Royal Farms in your area, I highly recommend it. It's very good. And you know, I made the same meatballs I make all the time, which is just old-fashioned. Hey, Chris, are those meatballs at Walmart old-fashioned meatballs, or just, Chris is going to look up the kind of meatballs I get, because I do, it is really, really good. The sauce for them is equal parts apple jelly and ketchup, and that is all you do. Now, I do suggest that you warm up the apple jelly and the ketchup on the stove and make sure it's well combined. Do that first and get it nice and warm, and then just throw a bag of these meatballs in the crock pot and pour the sauce over it and let it cook. And they are so good every single time. You just can't. Home style meatballs. There you go, from Walmart. Fully cooked. They're really good, but I let them cook for many hours because it helps the sauce infuse into them, you know. Very, very, very good. And I will give you a link to the video of for my chili in the description, because that's on my channel. So, and my dad and I, as you saw in the video, I did end up putting up a video. I didn't think I would. I honestly didn't think I would when I finished my living room video, decor video, but we did do a demo for sweet potato casserole. And my dad wanted me to be sure to tell you that it was fabulous. And it did. I didn't even take a fingerful of it, and it tasted like a dessert, you guys. It was so good, and it was sweet. And I've heard some people online say that they've cut the sugar in half and it still turned out great. Well, and I told that to my dad. He goes, don't do that, or then don't cut the sugar in half. said, I won't, Dad, I won't, I promise, you know. So he loved it. Sean loved it. Odin loved it. Chris loved it. Those were the ones who I saw eating it. Candace and I were not fans, you know. But anyway, so the next day we had our Thanksgiving feast. Of course, we had turkey and ham and two different kinds of stuffings. I make a sausage stuffing that I don't think I've ever put on my channel. And one of these days I'll have to make some and put some on my channel. We also make a mushroom stuffing, the sweet potato casserole, sauerkraut. Sean actually said, he said, I want to tell you one thing I'm thankful for. And we said, well, what's that, Sean? And he goes, I'm thankful that there's sauerkraut on the Thanksgiving Day table. He said, we've never had that. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of people don't have it, but Dad and I were saying, how long have we had sauerkraut on our table? And he goes, ever since I can remember, you know, when he was a kid. And so we just, you know, the tradition continues with the sauerkraut. So we had sauerkraut, which how I make that is just literally Libby's sauerkraut. And Chris is like, oh, do you really need Libby's? I said, I need Libby's sauerkraut. Libby's sauerkraut, I made 2 big jars of it, and I put bacon, rendered off some bacon, and 1 onion cut really thinly, and then brown sugar, sweet. My sauerkraut is sweet. And so sauerkraut, gravy, of course, and mashed potatoes and rolls. Am I missing anything, Chris? He left. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think I've got it all. Huh? Green beans, sauerkraut, sausage stuffing, mushroom stuffing, mashed potatoes, rolls, turkey, ham. Yeah, coleslaw. And that's it, I guess. That's it. Anyway, so we had a wonderful, wonderful dinner around the big table, as you guys saw in that video. And if you didn't, I highly recommend you check that video out. We extended this kitchen table over here and added one of the leaves into it. And it was nice and long. And Dad was at one end and Chris was at the other, like, hello, down the table. You know, it was very long, but had plenty of room. There were 8 of us. Had plenty of room for the kids, everybody to have their own seat and have plenty of room at their seat. So we did that. And we just had a wonderful time. We just had a wonderful time eating and fellowshipping and saying what we're thankful for and all of that. And I said that I'm thankful for Sean and his boys and that, you know, for coming into the family. And they have entered this family seamlessly, you guys. It's just, I'm just so happy for Candace that she has found such a wonderful man in Sean. He is just a wonderful, sweet-natured, steady, just wonderful gentleman. Just a wonderful gentleman. So, and then after all the dishes were done, you know, that's always a marathon because we did eat on like nice plates and everything. Anyway, and no, I didn't do the holiday table and all of that stuff. We did it buffet style, guys. We set all the food up at the island and we walked it over to the table. So I don't have any fancy place settings or anything like that because we were more about being together instead of killing ourselves, me killing myself, you know, doing all that. Honestly, you guys, I was so tired from all of my Christmas decorating that I just needed to not do all of that. So we didn't. And they were perfectly happy with that. So we had dessert then, and I had made a German chocolate, just a box cake, German chocolate cake. Chris made pecan pies. Dad brought pumpkin pies. And I had little donuts because that's Maverick's favorite thing in the whole wide world, little donuts. And Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes because those are his favorite and their favorite. What a hodgepodge of desserts, huh? So we had dessert, and then we headed over here to this tree, which Chris and I had put up about a week before, just to the point of ornaments. We had put it up and we'd added the red beads to it and pushed it back and put the collar around it. Maybe I'll show you the whole thing here and as I talk about it. And when Chris and I put it up, you see that topper? That thing gave us a terrible time. I'm going to need to reinforce that when we take it back down because Chris put it up and then it started to separate and one piece would go back and one piece would come forward and it was a mess. So I'm going to need to fix that. We made that this is like the third or fourth year for that being up there. As you see, I've continued on with the red bow theme. You know, red and white is my theme in gold. And so I have several different several my bows that I've made placed on the tree in, you know, strategic places. And then the big bow topper is up there. And then this tree is covered with very, very sentimental ornaments. Ornaments that have been made for us through the years, by us through the years. And there's cruise ships on here. There's ornaments from all over the world from that Chris and I have collected. I wouldn't say all over the world, but some places. And there's a lot of angels. I will show you the angel that Chris always puts on the tree first. That is the very first thing that goes on the tree and the very last thing that comes off. That's Chris's kind of rule. He always says that angel goes on the tree first and comes down last. I also read through the card that I write when we take the tree down. Usually at the first of the year, I write out a 3x5 card, and I have everybody's ages on it, and I write some highlights through the year, you know, of things that have happened through the year. So I read that to everybody from last year, and all the boys were on it and their, you know, their ages and everything. And of course, we'll have to add Gus this year.
I love puppies.
On my side of the desk and get the ornaments out that sweet lady sent us. Noreen sent me some lovely ornaments that I'm going to show you here in just a second. And I received these, I think the day before Thanksgiving or the day before that, I'm not sure. And we need to put these on the tree. I forgot about these the other night. So, but she made all of these lovely ornaments for us. There is Pearl and Gus 2025. Pearl is the little Italian Greyhound, and then Gus, of course, is the little Basset Hound puppy. And then she made one for Arlen and Chris. Look at that. Aren't these pretty? She made these, you guys, 2025. Then she made one for Candace, Sean, Samson, Odin, and Maverick. Everybody's name spelled perfectly right and correctly. Look at that. And I did write her name on the back. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm going to try to remember to do this for people, for those that send me stuff now. I'm going to try to put your name on it somewhere, because I'm going to like, one of you gave those to me. As a matter of fact, you'll see, if you see pictures up close of this tree, which I'll try to add at the end. I did, there's beautiful crocheted snowflakes. Who gave me those, you guys? You guys gave me a couple different sizes, and they're beautiful. Anyway, Noreen's last ornament. This is going to be hard to show you. Kristen Danny, Miss Fun. And look at the little angel. Isn't that beautiful? And in memory of our daughter, Kristen. I love it. So I will put these on the tree for sure. Noreen, thank you so much. I wrote you privately, but thank you so very much for taking the time to make these, for thinking of us. Such busy times. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate them so much, and we love them, and the kids love them. I did show them, but I just forgot to walk back over there and get them with all the hullabaloo, but I will put them on here now. As you will notice, here's the tree again. On the bottom there, I have a collar around the bottom of the tree. And you guys, I love it. I absolutely love the collar. It really makes the tree look neat and tidy. And when I would use tree skirts in the past, invariably somebody would walk by and kick it and mess it up, or I'd catch it in the vacuum cleaner, or any number of other things. And I really, really, really enjoy having the collar around the bottom of this. I think I want to get one for my blue and white tree too. I really, really like that. I really like the look. I wanted to show you one thing that I did add. This little guy sits right in front of the tree. You've probably seen him in the pictures here. This fella is very old. He's a snowman, very, very, very old. And I got him, I want to say over there at Country Traditions over in Harrisonburg, Virginia. When I first got this guy, he had a burgundy band around his hat here, and it was just solid. It didn't have a bow on it or anything. And he had a burgundy heart right here on his chest. Well, I decided I wanted to use him, but I didn't want the burgundy because everything is bright red, as you know, in my decor. So I found this ribbon in my coffers, and I just tied this nice little ribbon around his hat. Looks really cute. And I took the heart off. And doesn't he look cute? Look at his eyes. Candace loves his eyes. Look at his crooked eyes, Mom. I think he's so cute. So I wanted to show him to you, though. As I said, I don't think I can link him. But I also wanted to say, if you have things in your coffers that you don't necessarily know what to do with, or they don't match your color scheme, tweak him a little bit and pull him into your decor, And isn't he cute? I just love him so much. So I had him, and I also wanted to show you this guy. I don't know where I got him either. I think it might have been over there at that Snow and Ice store a couple of years ago. He's newer. And as I said, the Snow and Ice place is supposed to be getting a website. It's not up and running yet, but I keep checking it. And I'll keep checking it for you, but check him out. And he's just a furry snowman, and I just keep him really on the bottom. I have him sitting up here for this video, but I really keep him under the table there so you can kind of see him as you walk in. So you guys have literally seen pretty much every inch of what is decorated in this house, other than I have a little white tree that sits up on the landing up there, and I do put a little nativity scene where my dad sleeps a little bit. It's like a tall, it's not crystal, but it's looks crystal. Mary holding Jesus and Joseph, I think. And I think they're all together, fused all together, and then a deer. But other than that, you guys have seen everything. Pretty much every inch of everything I've decorated. You guys have seen it. So moving forward here after today, I am going to do my home tour. I'm going to be working on my home tour. I do not know whether I will be back on by Thursday with my home tour. It takes me a while to get in the can, and then it takes me a while to edit that one, you guys. I will do my best to get it to you by Thursday, but it may be Friday or Saturday. Then next week, after my home tour, I'm going to let that sit for a little while, for a few days. And then when I come back, most likely sometime next week, I am going to start purging. I'm going to gather all of the Christmas decorations that I have not laid hands on, looked at, or have gone through and chosen not to use. And we're going to go through everything, and I'm going to either purge, which means donate. So I'm either going to donate, trash, or keep. So I need to pare down my Christmas decor, just like I did by fall decorating. And I've been doing that as I go through the seasons. So we are going to do that moving forward. And that will probably take 2 or 3 videos just to get through all of that stuff. So, and then after that, we'll see what else is next. So anyway, I guess that's really about it, you guys. We have decorated outside. And as you saw at the beginning of the video, as we, pulled up the video. When I did have a couple of things to haul from Amazon. Before I say goodbye to you, I wanted to show these to you. When I did the outdoor decor, I decided to, thank you, honey. Chris is my helper today. He's really helping me out. I decided to move my snowflake pillows out onto the front porch. So they're sitting out on the front porch, pillow covers out on the front porch. And I decided to bring in a little bit of a plaid look into this room. And oh my goodness, you guys, these pillow covers are so nice. These are thicker than what I normally buy. And these are beautiful. I got 18 by 18s. I do think they have 20 by 20s and other sizes. I will link these again separately and in my Amazon Christmas box. But aren't they pretty? And then I got me a Sherpa blanket. Oh, it is so soft on the outside, and then it has Sherpa on the inside. So you'll see these at my home tour. It's going to look a little different than when I first decorated, because I did change my mind and decided I wanted a little bit of plaid action going on. So, all righty, you guys. So that, I think, will do it for this one. Can't think of another thing. If I think of something else, I'll morph it in right here. But I think that's all I wanted to talk to you about this one. I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you were able to see those you love and who love you, and that you had a good time of fellowship together with one another, and I got all caught up on everything that you might have missed through the year. And I just hope that you had a wonderful time. I wish I did. I wish I hadn't eaten so much, but you know what? I'm right back on my diet today. And, you know, we are moving on to Christmas. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe we are almost to the end of 2025. You know, my mama always said you can't stop the passage of time. And I'm telling you, as we age, time seems to go by faster. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, sometimes I wish it would slow down a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and to my final words and say, for those of you who might be struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, or have suffered a great loss, I hope that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or from where it should be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits, hugs all around, and I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.